Hello everyone, I'm Greg Otto with FedScoop TV, and we're here at the Data Innovation Summit today, and I'm talking with Frank Konieczny, the CTO of the Air Force. Frank, thanks for joining us today. So talk to me about how big data is impacting your agency and what innovative approaches your agency is trying out to better utilize big data.
Okay, as you know, the Air Force has lots and lots of data. And if we look at it, what we try to do, first of all, we do statistical analysis of it. I mean, that's the simple stuff.
Right.
Basically, you know, fuel consumption or maintenance activities as well. But then we extend it further to predictive analysis.
Okay.
We combine that with other data sources, such as weather, and look at how that would actually apply in doing predictions of when I need parts, when my gas consumption is up. Also, we look at it from the training program. What training has the pilots have done to actually how they consume all the fuel that they do, and why is it that the way? So we do that in terms of a predictive model now. We also do it in terms of classifications. We classify data for access, for control, for disposition. So we want to get rid of the data when we don't need it. And so we have to do the classification as well. And as we get to all this, at some point in time, we'll actually do some machine learning. Like the normal thing is for the cyber activities, we want to be able to look at what's going on, have the machine actually tell us predictive analysis of what's actually could happen, and then we would act against it. However, we have to make sure that the data that they're using is not really stale data, because things that were 3 months ago may not be happening or new to the activities for today.
So how have sources changed since the time that you've been with the Air Force? I imagine that it's just grown exponentially. How do you deal with that growth?
It's grown a lot, and what you have to do is you have to qualify the data and validify the data, if you will, because what you want to make sure is that the data that you're getting in is really good. It has to be timely, because as I said, we don't want stale data, because that'll just throw everything off from what you're doing. And so we bring in some open source data as well, and we're concerned about that to make sure that it is really true, because that could be one of the threat vectors. It's totally off. And so we do go through a lot of process of cleansing the data, validating against multiple sources, and figuring out what is the best source that we're going to use. And we use data from, obviously, the components, the IC, as well as, you know, the open source. So we get lots of mixing of data as we do the correlations and the validation.
So talk to me a little bit about how you wrap security and privacy into the amount of data that you have, because, I mean, that is just so important for all agencies that are dealing with just the vast troves of data that they use. So I'm interested to hear how things like security and guarding privacy and PII and all of that factor into what you do.
Yes. Well, we've talked about this in some other interviews before, but enterprise level security is what we're trying to do. We're trying to actually tag all the data as to what the content is after we do the classification or categorization of the data per se. We're then putting in access controls as to what can you actually see the data and who can actually see it. This is very important for the PI data as well as some other data that we have, because you just can't release the information to everybody. And so there are ways of actually masking out the data if you need to, based upon your access control. And so we are trying to actually tag all the data that we have against this access control, against what other particular, you know, CUI data that's actually in the document itself, because there's other stuff besides PII data. There's operational data. And looking at it from the viewpoint of the enterprise is how can I control the data for the enterprise by doing tagging, and then applying access controls on top of those tags.
Interesting, interesting. Well, Frank, thank you for stopping by. Always great insight hearing from you.
Thank you.
For all of our videos, check out our YouTube channel, and for more information, check out fedscoop.com. I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.